Getting low grades, test after test, exam after exam, is incredibly demotivating and can lead to a lot of very negative self-talk and low self-esteem. You start telling yourself that it's me, I'm the problem, I'm just not studying long enough. So you double down on your efforts to study harder, longer, with fewer relaxation time and fewer breaks. Sometimes this is because you feel like you didn't put your all into this exam. Other times you feel like you don't deserve fun anymore because you got a low mark. I'm here to tell you that that's not true. If you didn't study properly, if you got cocky and decided that you would study everything the night before the exam, all right, that strategy might work for you. But if you're spending hours and hours and hours in front of your notes, in front of your computer, without any improvements, there are some changes you can make to your study habits. I had a real problem with identifying with my grades, believing that I am what my professors dictate my knowledge level to be at. To be honest, it's still something that I struggle with. But I've come to understand that every grade, every exam, test, lab result that I get, it's just a moment for self-reflection and reevaluation. When I look at my grades and I'm pleased with my result, I think, okay, good, the way I studied here worked for me. This is something that I should continue doing. If I get a grade that I'm unhappy with, I know that my study methods for this particular exam did not work. And it's that in that moment that I can start to make a change, start to adjust, and reevaluate, restructure the way I'm studying. It doesn't have to be a big change. Most of the time, it's something really small. If you've given up your sleep, your social life, and your health for school, the way that you're studying, I'm sorry to say, it isn't working for you. And you can absolutely continue with the method that you're currently using. That's absolutely fine. But you're going to find yourself getting more stressed, more burnt out, and more overwhelmed over a long period of time. Doing a big change in the middle of when nothing is working for you is scary. It's terrifying. And honestly, it's a gamble. You don't know if this change is going to fix your problem or if it's going to take 3 more changes. But I will say that for me, changing something that wasn't working for me has always helped my grades in the long run. I might have to compromise the next test, the next exam, but my grades have always improved afterwards. So the question here really is, do you want to improve your overall grade? Identify the problem. What part of your routine is not working for you? What part are you actually struggling with? Is it that you don't understand a specific concept? Is it something about sitting at a test, sitting in front of a paper, knowing that this is what I'm going to be evaluated on, that sends you into a panic and makes you forget everything? We need to identify what the problem is specifically before we can make any constructive, helpful changes. At the beginning of medical school, we started anatomy. And I had a study system that was working really well for what we were learning. After the first semester, though, we switched from basic concepts or basic names to more systems anatomy, digestive system, nervous system, respiratory system, circulatory system. And I found that the techniques that I had suddenly gone to shit. Nothing was working anymore. I was failing exams because I wasn't understanding the general structure of how everything worked together. This required me to shift in the way that I was approaching my studying. And it did take some time. It took some trial and error. I had to do a couple of things, but it is a change that helped me in the long run. I was better for it, and my grades improved very quickly once I figured it out. Try something new. Trying something new is not the best thing to do when you have a test the very next day. I've done it before. It's possible, but genuinely it was a miracle that it worked. I have no idea how to replicate it, and I was never able to do it a second time. Instead, try a new study method at least a week before your next test or next exam. Try it for the day. Use that study method for the day and then test yourself in the evening to see if anything stuck. If it did, perfect. If not, scrap it or change it and try something else the next day, and rinse and repeat.
Bounce back quickly.
This is a scary process because the uncertainty is petrifying. Not knowing if the next thing is going to work is petrifying. So imagine giving up. Really imagine it. Your backup plan. Think about it. Plan it out. Sit with that feeling of having your backup plan worked out in your mind. And ask yourself for a minute, how does that make you feel? If all of a sudden you have space to breathe again, maybe this isn't the right time for the path that you're currently on. Maybe this isn't the right path at all. But if the thought of giving up completely hurts, if you feel a weight or a heaviness on your chest, if you feel a knot in your stomach, if you feel your throat closing up from the revulsion of just the idea, sit with that for a bit too. And cuss yourself out. Be upset. Be angry. Feel all the things that you're feeling. Get mad about the fact that your own ambitions are frustrating you right now. Curse and just yell and scream at yourself for wanting this path specifically. Sit with it for a while. Do whatever you need to do to feel all of your emotions. Be there for 15 minutes. Then get your ass up and live your life again. This won't happen right away. This will take some time. But once you've got a routine that's working for you again, start to incorporate aspects of a healthy life back into your routine, daily routine, not just study routine, daily routine as well. Sleep a regular 7 to 9 hours every night. It's been proven countless times in countless studies that sleep helps learning and memory. Once you've got your study methods working for you again to a point where you're being more efficient, start sleeping like a human again. Sleep your healthy 7 to 9 hours. Bragging about only getting 2 hours a night of sleep or pulling your third all-nighter of the week is not cool. It's in fact the opposite. It's not hardworking, it's not efficient, it's not something to be proud of. Start going out with your friends again. This doesn't have to mean, out every night, Thursday to Saturday, going out consistently. This could just mean out for coffee once a week, once every 2 weeks, or a walk with some friends. It can be something casual. It can be something that doesn't take up too much of your time, but you do need that social aspect to feel healthy again. Start exercising again. And if not exercising, just start moving your body again. This doesn't have to be any kind of intense routine. For me, during this year, it was just an hour or two long walk with my mom to go get coffee and a croissant in the morning. And that was pretty much it. I did my yogas as well for about 20 minutes, I want to say, every morning. Usually not more than that. Maybe I would do a stretch in the evening if I needed to relax or de-stress from the day to allow myself to sleep. But your schedule doesn't have to be that consistent. It could be once a week. It could be twice a week of trying different things. Maybe it's a walk. Maybe it's a run. Maybe it's dancing around in your room. Whatever it is, just get your body moving again. These small things feel impossible right now, and that's fine. It's supposed to feel impossible right now. But once you have a study routine that's working for you, it's going to free up your time. You'll get some time to go for a jog. You get some time to take a nap, or even maybe, oh my God, you'll get some time to go a little out of your way to the nicer grocery store 3 blocks down instead of the convenience store around the corner. Changing our study habits when we're doing well in school is not easy. So now with the added pressure of I need this to work for my grades to get better, that's a lot of stress to put on a person, and it's scary, and it's okay to be scared. It's normal. You should be feeling scared. Unfortunately, getting stuck in the fear of it is something we all go through. Getting through your predicament, though, is in your control, and it's important to remember that. So it's okay to be scared. It's okay to feel fearful, but you can lean into the fear. Be scared, but be brave and try something new. One more thing I want to add before we wrap this up. Make sure that you're talking to someone about what you're going through. Talk about your feelings, talk about your process, talk about your fears. Having someone there to encourage you, to support you, and to not judge you is so important during this process. And that could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be your partner, it could be a classmate. For me, it was my mom. Whenever I was feeling scared or worried or terrified, I would go to her and I'd talk to her and I'd just cry in front of her for a little while. She never truly understood what I was going through. No one but my classmates can. But knowing that she believed in me, even when I didn't in the moment, made me feel like it'll be okay. Everything will be okay. And sometimes we just need a little bit of a reminder that everything will be okay. I hope this video helps, and I can personally empathize with what you're going through. I've been through it myself. I know exactly how much it sucks. But I also know that it is something you can get through. I just hope that you get through it very quickly. Bye guys. I'll see you in the next one. And good luck.